Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer and moved to Arsenal. Just before we get into the transfers, congratulations going out to Brooks Norton-Cuffy. The Arsenal youngster won the under-19 Euros last night with England, beating Israel in the final by 3-1. Congratulations going out to him. He's definitely a player to watch in the future. Right back. There's a lot of people saying, actually, that this season we should bring him back into the fold. He had a very successful time out on loan last year at Lincoln City. And a lot of people at Arsenal are really raving about him, saying that definitely a player for the future. I remember speaking to someone there and I was talking to them and saying, you know, after we played Forest and saying Jed Spence, he looked pretty handy for Forest. Should that be a player that Arsenal maybe move for? And they were like, listen, we've got this Norton-Cuffy better than Jed Spence, and he's already in our ranks. So let's see if he can rise up and just come right through to the Arsenal first team. But listen, well done to him. That will really set him in good stead. Winning the Euros at under-19 level, and well done to England as well. You know, as well, I don't know if you guys saw this yesterday. Picture of Fabio Vieira in a protective boot. It sent Twitter and everybody online as an Arsenal fan into absolute meltdown. We were like, oh no, not again. Soon as we get a player, he's injured again, right? He did, however, go onto his Instagram later on, Fabio Vieira, and had this message. The message said, relax, guys. It's just a precaution. I'm all okay, and we'll be joining the Arsenal team for the pre-season tour very, very soon. I was saying to myself, not again. As soon as we get a player, he's injured again, you know? And I know he said it's a precaution, but it's not a good sign, is it? Oh, dear. You know what? As Arsenal fans, we are traumatized. We're traumatized with injuries. We're traumatized when it comes to transfers. You know what? The window started off good. We bought in Jesus, you know, Fabio Vieira, we've seen. They've spent a lot of money so far, nearly £80 million. Windows looking good, but all of a sudden, we've started to run into a lot of problems when it comes to our transfers. First of all, the Rafinha one, everybody was right up for it, thinking, yeah, you know, Rafinha, this would be brilliant for Arsenal. Statement signing, Chelsea come in with a bigger bid. We're out of the picture. And then even now, Barcelona put them out of the picture. And then the next one is this one, the signing, or what we've been trying to do for Lisandro Martinez. Arsenal said to put in up to 3 bids already to try and get this player signed. Last one deemed to be around about the £38 million mark, but lots and lots of reports today that Manchester United are set to hijack and gazump for this deal. We know, of course, he used to play for Erik Ten Hag at Ajax for 3 seasons. Ten Hag knows him inside out. And Manchester United, they're on the verge of signing Luke de Jong from Barcelona. Then they are going to turn their attentions to Lisandro Martinez. They're looking to put a big bid in for him and to get his signature. And there's been reports that Arsenal don't want to get into a bidding war over it, but they want Lisandro Martinez. We know Lisandro Martinez can play as a left back. He can play as a centre back, which is a position he played for when he played at Ajax. He can also play as a defensive midfielder, but predominantly he's a centre back. But it's looking more and more like United will win the race for that signing. You know, he used to play for Erik Ten Hag, and you know he's just won the league with Erik Ten Hag. If you've got a choice, let's be real right now. You're going to, you know, there's 2 big clubs in for you, but you're going to go and be managed by a guy that you know. It's kind of a no-brainer, in it. So I'm a bit worried that this one is going to fall flat, that we're not going to get a man. And it's kind of traumatizing Arsenal fans at the moment because they're like, it's looking like we can miss out on 2 big targets in 1 week. And we've been here before, where we've been missing out. Now, listen, you can also put this other slant on it. And I want to put this slant on it. We're going after big players, which is good. And when you go after big players, other big clubs are after those big players as well. So these deals are never, ever going to be easy. They're always difficult to get done. Even if you're Real Madrid wanted Mbappe and didn't get him. Even though they thought they got him, they didn't get him. So transfer deals, when you're trying to get the biggest and best players, is always really difficult. So at least we're in the hunt for them. It'd be really good if we can get one of them over the line because, as I said, fans are traumatized, and what was looking like a fantastic window has hit the buffers a bit as some of these deals are starting to falter. What about, listen, I ask about this one every day, Youri Tielemans. Now, the reports are that Youri Tielemans has agreed terms with Arsenal. Well, if you read a lot of reports, it's sort of that he agreed personal terms with Arsenal a few months ago. He's agreed to come. He wants to come. He wants to come to Arsenal. That is where he wants to be. But I don't know why Arsenal are still taking their time to get this deal done. Or do they want him or do they not want him? I mean, it's a really, really baffling one. It's one that they could get over the line and, again, it would put that feel-good factor back in the fans because, if I'm being honest, this is probably the one that Arsenal fans would like to see more than any other. The one for Youri Tielemans. It makes sense because it's a position that we know we're struggling in. So I'm a bit baffled at why we haven't gone back in. When terms have been agreed, when Youri Tielemans has said he wants it, why we haven't gone back into him. And again now, reading reports today that Manchester United are interested in Youri Tielemans as well. Of course, they lost Pogba. They're looking to add quality to their midfield, and they're interested in Tielemans. Arsenal got to be very careful here that we don't end up getting hijacked on a lot of our main targets and end up looking a little bit stupid, when it comes to some of these players. I know we've got to be patient. I'm contradicting myself a bit with what I even just said about a couple of minutes ago, but, the Tielemans one is baffling. Listen, Leicester would love to have some sort of bidding war going on for Tielemans. Leicester would love that, right? But if he's got an agreement in place, if he's agreed terms, a bit like we're seeing it with Rafinha. He agreed terms a couple of months ago with Barcelona. Chelsea have come in with a massive bid. They have met the criteria that what Leeds are asking for. Barcelona haven't met that, by the way, for Leeds. But Barcelona are the favourites because that's where the player wants to go. And now it's going to play out and some sort of deal's going to come. I know with the Tielemans thing, Arsenal would like to get him as cheap as possible. But sometimes you've got to pay that a little bit extra to make sure you get the player. And I hope they do so in this case. Or are they going to start turning their directions to somebody else? Now, this guy's been linked today. Amadou Onana, Belgium player. He plays for Lille over there in France. Defensive midfielder. Very, very highly rated indeed. He's already won one Belgium cap. And there's lots of interest in him from many, many clubs right across Europe and the Premier League. Now, Arsenal's representatives have spoken to his representatives, about a possible transfer. At the moment, it's talks, but could also go after him. Young player, 20, in that midfield position. We all know we need experience, but then I get it. If it's a young player and he's a hot prospect, you've got to move. Would only be around about £9 million. But let's keep an eye on that one. As I said, a lot of other clubs are talking to him as well. And what about this one? Now, again, going back to the Lisandro Martinez one, it's said that we want Lisandro Martinez to be cover in the left-back position. Well, this guy, Alex Grimaldo, is a left-back. Benfica, same place where we got Nuno Tavares from, as by the way, is a left-back. But this guy's a lot more experienced than Nuno Tavares, 26 years of age, Spanish. And, he's very, highly thought of over there in Portugal. Newcastle were chasing him in January. They were very interested in signing him. As a matter of fact, Manchester City have previously been interested in this player as well. They, at the time, were scouting him, and the reports are that Mikel Arteta was one of the teams sent out there to actually scout him. So he should know him pretty well. Arsenal been linked with him, And there's a lot of interest. I mean, we were discussing this yesterday on the evening show, me and James, and it was about the Lisandro Martinez. And I was saying, do we spend £45 million or £43 million, which is the asking price for him, on a player that I don't think he's going to play as a centre-back for Arsenal, but he's an option there. He's going to be coming in as a left-back. Do we spend it on all that money on him, or do we get a guy like, say, this Alex Grimaldo, who's specifically a left-back, would be a hell of a lot cheaper? I mean, there's a lot of talk that we could get him for around about £10 million, despite that valuation. And then we could use that money to go after other targets that are probably a bit more essential. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of Lisandro Martinez, only little bits, and he comes very highly rated. He's Argentinian international, as we know. But if we're going that big on him, I mean, I don't know, man. There's some other players I'd rather us go bigger on. But let's see how that one pans out. And finally, is Granit Xhaka about to leave? There were a lot of people saying that he appeared in Love Island last night. Oh, man, I'll tell you, when I saw that, that was so funny. Granit Xhaka, imagine Granit Xhaka on Love Island. That would be brilliant. I'd love that. But no, it wasn't Granit Xhaka. The guy does look like him, though. But listen, thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget to subscribe here to AFTV so you get all your notifications when there's any transfer news dropping. So make sure you keep it locked here. Check out all of our brilliant content we got dropping over the weekend. A brilliant Invincible podcast coming out today. I've got an interview that I did with Fumes, the engineer. That was brilliant. Also, highlights from the Claude Cup, which was played last week. We've got the semi-finals, right? You can still donate to that, by the way. So make sure you check that out. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.